Hello, I'm Lois Dixon Myers, standing here in Houston in my living room next to my father's portrait. My father was a member of the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, and a member of the Priestly Society there, which was the honor group of surgeons where he studied and taught for many years before going into private practice back in Pennsylvania, his home state, Dr. James A. Dixon. He always said that if our country ever got socialized medicine, it would bankrupt America. So I'm hoping that Dr. Pease, who wrote the article in yesterday's Examiner newspaper, that was October the 2nd, where he said that the House of Representatives could have stopped Obamacare last week by putting it in a separate standalone bill where they could have shot it down as a tax, not as an expendable item on the federal budget, the annual fiscal budget that Congress has the authority to allocate where the monies will be spent, that is. And they also have the authority to relegate or levy a tax on the American people, which the Senate and the President do not have the authority per the U.S. Constitution. Dr. Pease, being an expert U.S. constitutional lawyer, said that Obamacare is unconstitutional, and it's not correct what the Democrats are saying, that it's a law that passed. That is not true. Justice Roberts of the U.S. Supreme Court in 2012 ruled, as well as the other Supreme Court justices, that Obamacare is unconstitutional because it is unconstitutional for the Congress to mandate that the public buys anything. In this case, Obamacare. They were trying to say that everyone would have to buy a product. Obamacare, unconstitutional. Congress does not have the authority to force anybody to buy anything, which is called a mandate. They can only tax. And so Obamacare could only be deemed as a tax. Thus, it should never have been put in with the fiscal budget for everything else that is bought and paid for by the federal government and given out to the American people. They can only levy a tax and say where the expendable items are going to go. So the only thing left, short of a mandate, is to say that it is a tax. Well, in the last 2 or 3 years, they found out that the tax doesn't work. It's not viable. Number one, it's not affordable. Number two, it does not provide adequate patient care. For those two reasons alone, Dr. Pease said the Congress, House of Representatives, could have put a standalone bill saying just that, and therefore defunding or repealing, rather, Obamacare in a bill that would have gone to the Senate, who would have had no say-so on it because it was a tax. That is how it should be deemed. That's what the Supreme Court ruling said. Nor could the President have touched it, because neither the President or the Senate has the right to tax by the U.S. Constitution. So, going back to the article yesterday in the Examiner, it is actually the only way that Obamacare could have been handled. It could have been prevented. All of this shutdown that we're seeing this week with the federal government being shut down would have been totally avoided if the House of Representatives would have made a standalone bill saying this is a tax. Obamacare is a tax per the ruling of the U.S. House of Supreme Court in 2012, saying we could not mandate, we could only tax with Obamacare or anything else, and therefore because it's not a good idea, it's not affordable, it's not providing good patient care, we're going to get rid of it. And that would have been the end of Obamacare. So I hope you'll call your U.S. senators and congressmen, set the record straight as to what is legal and not legal per the U.S. Constitution regarding the ruling in 2012 by the U.S. Supreme Court. And if you would like to get your ideas out there on the internet, please sign up with me today on EmpowerNetwork.com/EmpowerFSHS. That's Empower stands for Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Or go to my other website, which is the same thing, theabundantharvest.com, and sign up with me today, where you can put blogs and videos out there and reach hundreds and thousands of people And when ENV2, the new version of Empire Network, comes out next week, with the flick of a switch, you can put your blog and video out there to all major sites at one time. No one else has this capability. This is going to revolutionize the internet. And for just $25 a month, plus $19 a month extra to become an affiliate so you can sell these memberships to other people and get the ball rolling, the American people will have their voice out there. They will be heard, even though the major media is not always accurately reporting what the American people really want and what it's all about. So for a free press in America, sign up with me today, ASAP, and help keep America blooming and growing. Thank you, and may God bless.